Hello guys, welcome back. I got yet another fox with me. Expect that on Lokean channel, right? And I want to talk today about a video I saw because Loki had like kind of nudged me and commented on it. A lot of people, I guess, kind of think of like, well, we use the fox because of this and that, but in this video, these mated pair of foxes had built a den in Yellowstone. They built it really close to where people like had a recreation area, so a lot of people got to film them, and a biology teacher filmed them actually. And what had happened was a badger came waltzing through, and the badger, if you know badgers, they're a pretty tough, aggressive animal. Nothing on the planet messes with the badger. And the badger went into the den, and you know the biology teacher thought, oh no, and the badger went in the den, and the vixen, of course, fought it. And the Todd, for some reason, was never around whenever the badger was around. He was either out hunting or he was doing something, because that's usually what the red fox is. This little fella here, that is what they will do. The Todd will usually be out hunting to bring food back for the vixen and the pups. But he was never on the scene, and she kept going in and trying to dig the badger out. To her credit, the vixen kept fighting and trying to get the badger out, and eventually the badger did come out, and luckily had not killed the pups, had been after a cache of rabbits they had in the den. Which I didn't know if that was typical behavior or not to store the food in the den, but they had the food in the den. So, you know, lucky call there. But for some reason, the mother did not move the cubs. And they had like 5 or 6 exit holes, so you think, well, okay. And the badger went away. And a couple days later, badger comes back, and the mother's going around too, and this time the badger won't come out, and the mother was in there with a cub, and you know, lost the cubs, and the mother had moved dens by then, but you know, lost the cubs, and it was sad. But the point of it was the mother had stood up against a badger, which most animals won't actually face in the wild. I mean, they'll fight with it like a little bit, they'll put up like a token battle, but most animals will leave a badger alone. If a badger goes in to claim something, they'll leave it alone. But the vixen, she was, you know, she was willing to fight that badger for her cubs. She was willing to stand up and fight him, and foxes aren't usually associated with being that brave, unless you think of like the Fox Kid Society, where the warriors are, you know, foxes. But yeah, she was bound and determined, and it's, you know, it's on video, it's on YouTube, that she actually fought that badger on her own. The badger's, remember, badger's so much bigger than her, it's so much more ferocious. But that mother was willing to die to protect her babies. Not every vixen is going to be like that. Some are going to run away. Some are just not going to know what to do. Some might be indifferent, but this, you know, this particular vixen, she was ready to fight and die for those babies. And sometimes we have to be like that too. Not literally like fight and die for our babies, but we do have to remember that sometimes there are going to come times in our life when we're going to have challenges like that. We're going to meet people, especially when it comes to Loki. It seems like you attract a lot of people, especially other people attached to Loki, either pro or against, that will be like that badger. They'll come in and they'll want to dig up your life and pretty much destroy your life and destroy everything you have with him, and say, I have it better, he likes me more, blah blah blah. And everything becomes a contest with these people, and you can't be as good to him or as important to him because he's told me so, or blah blah blah. Or the gods, in my experience, do not do that. They don't say, I like you more than so and so. They don't tattle. They don't tattle on other people. They won't tell you so-and-so's business. They won't tell you anything about anyone. They're not going to carry your news to someone unless, unless it's something like very dire, like you're like really, really sick and your head priestess should be checking in on you, then yeah, they'll be tapping someone. But other than that, they're not going to tell anyone anything about you. They're not going to be telling your personal business with them to other people. Or, there are rare exceptions. If someone's lying to your face, they might, tell you, especially to calm you down if they know they're lying to your face to like destroy the relationship. But most times they're not going to be telling you other people's business. So, we do have to all face it, especially with Loki, because it seems like there's like rampant jealousy within the community, and I know it disgusts him. I know personally from experience it disgusts him because gods don't want that from the people that work with them or serve them or however you like to use the term. They do actually want us all to get along as a community. They don't like infighting. They don't like jealousy. They don't like one-upmanship. You don't make yourself look better. In fact, you make yourself look worse. Part of your relationship with any god is trust. And when you're showing that level of mistrust by attacking someone else and having to destroy that relationship, you're actually damaging your own relationship at the same time. So you're making things worse for yourself and this other person. So you're hurting two relationships at once is what you're actually doing. So if you know you're guilty of it, I suggest you stop now and like try to grow out of it. And I'm not saying that as a judgment call. I'm saying that, is a helpful thing because it doesn't do you any service. It doesn't do the god any service. Loki's one of those gods that has it hard enough. He doesn't need people running around doing damage in his name because, he has it hard enough as it is to get people and keep people. And then he reaches out whatever way he reaches out, and he has this core crew running around saying, no, your relationship isn't valid because so and so and so. And it's time that stuff stops. So, sometimes, it has nothing to do with your gender or anything. Sometimes you gotta be like a vixen. You're gonna have the badgers come after you. And you just gotta remember, no matter how big they seem, and how tough they seem and how aggressive they seem, you can still hang in there and you can still fight them because unlike a vixen, you're not fighting them alone. Loki will be there with you. And he'll protect you. And just remember, a lot of these people like to make stuff up, or they're deranged, or they're like probably on drugs. I don't know, living in a fantasy land in their head. Pick one. And even if everything they tell you is true, that's extremely poor taste to just go bandying a personal relationship about, frankly. If you wouldn't do it with a flesh and blood relationship, don't do it with a divine relationship. So yeah, guys, just figured I'd tell you, just hang in there when that happens to you. If you're getting attacked by other people, and it doesn't just apply to Loki, it applies to any relationship with any god, yeah, just hang in there because every relationship is different. And they don't value one person over another. That's just human beings being humans and being petty and being jealous and being, I'm more important than you are. I think humans descended from cats. I really do. I think they'll find that out someday. There'll be some half human, half cat somewhere. And because humans be petty like that. And just hang in there and just try to remember that nobody speaks for Loki except Loki. So, take what you need from the video and leave the rest behind. And do that with every video, of course. Like, whatever applies to you, take it. And if it doesn't, don't take it. But, yeah, I hope that helped. And just remember, don't let what happened for other people and didn't happen for you ruin your day. Everybody has a different relationship. It doesn't mean your relationship is any less meaningful. It just means you have a different relationship, and don't let it bother you. We all have a different relationship, and that's what makes the relationships worth having. So, blessed being, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.